All right, let's just jump right in. If you've ever found yourself spending hours, maybe even days, just trying to get your reverb and delay to sit perfectly in a mix, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're aiming for that perfect depth, that awesome space, but what you end up with is, well, mud. Today, we're taking a look at a tool that's designed to be your AI co-pilot for that exact problem. It's called SpaceIQ.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You dial in what you think is a killer delay, but it just ends up cluttering the vocal. Or you add this gorgeous, lush reverb, and suddenly your kick drum sounds like it's a mile away in some giant cave. It's this constant, frustrating battle between creating a cool atmosphere and just keeping everything clear. So, I gotta ask, does this sound familiar? Are you fighting these same battles? Do you feel like your reverb is just washing everything out? Or your delay repeats are stomping all over your main melody? If you're nodding your head right now, then you're definitely gonna wanna see this. Well, this is where a whole new kind of tool is starting to show up. It's not another effect plugin. Instead, think of it as an AI-powered advisor that gives you objective, honest feedback on the effects you're already using. It's like having a second set of expert ears, but with a brain that's been trained on tons of data. The spell checker for your mix analogy is just perfect. Think about it. A spell checker doesn't write your paper for you, right? It just points out potential problems and suggests ways to fix them. That's exactly what an analyzer-only plugin does. It listens to what's happening, gives you some really smart advice, but at the end of the day, you're the one in charge. You always have the final say. And this is SpaceIQ. The most important thing to get about this plugin is its whole philosophy. It just sits on your track and it listens, it analyzes. It's not adding reverb, it's not creating a delay. It's simply telling you what it thinks about the reverb and delay that you've already set up. It advises, you decide. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does it actually give you that advice? Well, the heart of SpaceIQ is this thing called the risk score. It's one simple number that gives you an instant idea of whether your settings might be causing some common mix problems. So let's break that down. So let's start by putting SpaceIQ in its delay mode. Let's pretend we've got this on a vocal track, and we're checking out the tape echo we just dialed in. We want to know, is this actually helping, or is it hurting the mix?
And bam, right away we get this number, a delay risk score of 39. You can think of this as a quick health check for your sound. Generally, a lower score is better. It means a lower risk of mix issues. So 39, it's not a disaster, but it's a clear signal that, hey, we could probably make this better. But what's actually in that number? See, here's where the magic really happens. That main score is made up of these 4 subscores. Clash tells you if the delay is interfering with the original sound. Width checks out the stereo spread, and those are both pretty low. That's great. But then, look at feedback, a score of 72. Whoa! That's the AI basically screaming at you, hey, your delay repeats are set way too high. They're probably going to build up and make a mess. Now that is some seriously specific feedback. All right, so that's delay, super useful. But what about the other big one? Let's flip SpaceIQ over into reverb mode on that same vocal and see what it has to say now. And whoa, check that out. A reverb risk score of 60? That's a lot higher than the delay score was. So right off the bat, we know the AI has spotted more potential problems with our reverb settings. This is like an immediate red flag telling us to pay close attention right here. And this is so cool because you can see the analysis is totally different now. It's tracking completely new things. Mud for that low-end gunk that clouds up a mix, blur for when you lose detail, distance for how far back the sound gets pushed. And look at these scores. Blur is at 73 and distance is at 68. The AI is telling us, loud and clear, that our reverb is probably making the vocal sound washed out, indistinct, and way too far away. But you know, just getting a score, that's only half the story. The real game changer is what comes next. This is where SpaceIQ goes from being just a cool analysis tool to being an absolutely essential mix assistant. It doesn't just tell you what's wrong, it tells you how to fix it. So let's jump back to our delay. Remember that crazy high feedback score? Well, here's the comment SpaceIQ gives you. I mean, look at this. It's not some cryptic code. It's just plain English. It nails the problem, the repeats are too long, and they're gonna get dense. And then it tells you what to do. Turn down the feedback and lower the low-pass filter. Simple as that. And then it gets even more specific. It gives you an exact recipe. The suggested moves tell you precisely what knobs to turn on your actual delay plugin. Not just reduce feedback, but reduce feedback by 11%. Not just tweak the filter, but lower the low-pass filter, the thing that rolls off the high end of the repeats, by 2.1 kilohertz.
You can literally just go to your plugin and dial these settings right in. Okay, now for the reverb. Remember those high blur and distance scores? Here's the comment for that. It diagnoses the reverb as too soft and losing definition, and then it suggests increasing the pre-delay and trimming the decay. Again, it's pinpointing a super common issue and suggesting a pro-level fix. And once again, here are the specific actionable steps. Use a high-pass filter to clean up some of that mud, drop the wet signal by 2 dB to pull the vocal forward a bit, and add just 2.2 milliseconds of pre-delay. That tiny, tiny gap between the dry vocal and the reverb starting, that's the secret sauce for clarity. This is what takes you from analysis to action, and it couldn't be simpler.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, SpaceIQ really isn't just another plugin you'll add to your collection. It's a genuinely smart tool that could actually change the way you think about mixing with reverb and delay.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does this actually do for your workflow? Well, first you get instant, objective feedback, completely free from ear fatigue. That helps you make better decisions, and way faster. But here's the really crucial part. It trains your ears. When you see a high mud score, and then you actually go and listen and hear that problem, you start connecting the data to the sound. Over time, you'll start hearing that muddy buildup before you even open the plugin. So if this looks like something that could help you out in your own studio, here's the link on the screen to find it over on Gumroad. It's a seriously powerful way to get a reliable second opinion on your mixes anytime, day or night.
And all this really leaves us with one final big thought. We're seeing more and more AI tools pop up in the creative world, not to replace the artist, but to help them. Tools like SpaceIQ are like Copilots, right? They give us data, they give us suggestions so that we can make better, more informed creative choices. So what do you think? Is this the future of how we're all going to create music?